In this video, you'll learn how leads and contacts data can be added directly into Sugar Market by importing an Excel or CSV file. Before beginning the import process, there are a few items to review on your file before uploading. Make sure the column headers match the field you plan to map to. This will allow the import wizard to pre-match the columns for you on the mapping step. Eliminate all formatting, including any email value hyperlinks. The import wizard will not accept a file with formatting. You can easily eliminate formats by highlighting the necessary fields and using the Clear Formats feature in Excel. Always separate the first name column from the last name column. If they aren't separated, you can use the Text to Column feature in Excel to help you make sure that there are no duplicate email addresses. If you have a large file, you can simply highlight the email column, click Data, and remove duplicates. Also, be sure to remove any columns that you do not wish to upload to Sugar Market. Finally, there are two more important items to be considered before finalizing your list. All records will be imported as a lead unless specifically designated as a contact on your list. To specify records as a contact, you will need to add a column with the header labeled CRM type and then add the value contact. Also, all records will be assigned to the user who performs the import unless specifically designated on your list. To assign records to a specific user, you'll need to include a column with the header labeled Owner ID, then add the value for the owner to each row. The owner's ID can be found in the Users menu in Sugar Market. To access the import wizard, click through the navigation bar, select the Lists module, then click Import Data on the top right of your screen. This will bring you to step 1, where you'll be prompted to select the file from your desktop. Please note the import wizard only supports Excel and CSV files. First, select the file. You have the option to remove the file once uploaded. Then, check the required box to confirm that the records being imported have confirmed consent or legitimate interest in your communications. Next, we recommend checking the box that recognizes the first row of your file as the column names. Checking this box will assist the import wizard with pre-populating the mapped fields. Finally, you have the option to overwrite all field values for records that already exist in your Sugar Market database. You also have the option to individually check each field on step 2. If the list you're importing has more current information than what you previously have, we recommend checking this box. This will supersede any information that is currently stored, and the mapping to a record is based on email address. Once all changes are made, click Upload. This will take you to step 2, where you need to map each column on your file to a database field. First, make sure the header row matches the map column field. If it does not match, the mapping can be adjusted by clicking through the drop menu, and you can type or scroll for the correct field. If a column should not be imported in your database, you can choose Do Not Import from the drop menu. Next, you can individually select to overwrite field values by checking or unchecking the box under Overwrite. The email field is required to overwrite, as it is a key identifier in Sugar Market. The other fields are optional to overwrite. As stated earlier, if this information is more current than what you may have previously stored, we recommend checking this box. Each time you upload a list, the field mappings will be stored in the import wizard. If you consistently import lists with the same field information, you can use this feature to save time on this step of the import wizard. To use a previous mapping, just select a listing from the drop-down menu. Finally, leave the key column as set to the email field. This is used to uniquely identify records in Sugar Market. You can select a different field from the drop-down menu, but we recommend leaving the email field to avoid issues in the future. On step 3, you have a few different options for how to proceed with the imported records. You could create a new distribution list for the records by typing the list name and clicking Create, or you could add the records to an existing distribution list by clicking through the drop-down menu, selecting the list, and clicking Add to Distribution. You can also remove the list of records from an existing distribution list by clicking Remove from Distribution after selecting. This feature allows you to remove records from a list in one step by selecting the list and then clicking on the bin icon next to each column. You could skip this step entirely by clicking Import Contacts button at the bottom of the page to simply import these records directly into Sugar Market without creating or adding to a list. Verify the changes made by reviewing the Add and Remove to Distribution boxes, and when all changes are made, click Import Contacts. You should see a message that states your request has been received by our servers and the file is being imported. The time this process takes will depend on the size of the file, but on average, it should take several minutes to complete. To see your list, from your navigation bar, select Lists. Then you can either search for your list name or order lists by date modified to position it at the top. Here you can see the list type column is Import. You can see your list by clicking on the list name. Click the back arrow to re-access the list view. From here, you can create a new list or import data, which would take you back to step 1 of the import wizard. Thanks for tuning in.